This is Christine Zeitler with Olean Public Library. Today I'm going to show you how to turn an old shirt, sewing thread, a needle, and something to use as stuffing into a pet bed. For stuffing, I am going to use a combination of some old clothing and fiberfill. If you have an old pillow or something similar, you can use that as well. To start, I am going to turn the shirt inside out and sew along the bottom edge. I am only using an arm length of thread at a time. This is a cotton thread. I am just doing a simple running stitch, trying to keep the stitches about ½ inch long. After the first set of 3 to 4 running stitches, I am going to sew over 2 in what is called a back stitch just to keep things secure. If you're good at sewing or patient, then you have nice neat stitches. Mine are serviceable to make a pet bed. At the end of this seam, I am going to take a couple of stitches around the edge to make things a bit more secure. If I put the needle up through the loop of thread before gently pulling it tight, then I can form a very simple knot. Clip off the tail, it will be hidden inside your pet bed. While you're stitching on these seams, if you're using a knit fabric, do not pull too tightly because the stretching will cause puckering. Once I have the bottom edge sewn up, I am going to sew the bottom of the sleeves in the exact same way. By doing this while the shirt is inside out, when I turn it right side out, the seams will not show. Just keep doing a simple running stitch and you will see that everything will look nice when you're done. Next, I'm going to turn the shirt right side out, taking a moment to make sure that the bottom and sleeves are ready to be stuffed. Now I am going to use fiberfill to stuff the sleeves. Since I want this to be relatively firm, I am going to stuff these pretty full. Since I have another shirt that is older and no longer fits, I'm going to use that to fill in the body of my shirt. The pet bed is large, so that is going to provide a solid base. For the last of our stuffing, I am going to use the fiberfill to make sure that the bed looks how I want it to. Before I sew the neckline closed, I am going to stitch the sleeves onto the body of the bed to make sure that they lay how I want them to. I am rolling the sleeve out a little bit from the bed, taking a piece of the sleeve and base in each stitch. Don't worry about being exact, just tack the sleeves down onto the bed. At the end of the stitches, pass the thread under a stitch to knot the thread. Then pass the needle through the stuffing on the another part of the shirt, clipping the thread to hide it in the middle of the shirt. By pulling on the sleeves to get them to pretty much meet in the middle of the bottom of the bed, you form an entrance-exit for the pet bed at the neck. Since this is a mock turtleneck, I folded over one side of the neck over the other, sewing this down to the other portion of the shirt. After I had done that, I sewed the last flap right against the edge of the pet bed to avoid possible chewing. I would like to warn that all of the materials being used for this pet bed are acrylic and should not be ingested by any living creature. Enjoy your new pet bed!